All right. So, so I shared these levels, right, in the morning with everybody. You guys can put them on the Thinkorswim platform with the help of the link that I share. Or if you don't have that, you can just manually put them on NinjaTrader or any other platform you guys use, right? So for example, let's just see. Let's say, for example, this was a level 262, right? So I'm gonna just make these things a little smaller. Actually, I'll bring the other one second. Uh, there you go. Okay, so 262, like let's go to maybe a 1 minute chart just so that we can see a little bit more details. Okay, so the way I personally trade myself, again, everybody, it's not, the most efficient way. I don't think anything is concrete that way in the world of trading, right? But based on how I have seen these things work you can either do a first touch bounce from these levels, or you can so for example, 262.5 was the level, right? So you can either just have an order sitting here, and when the price comes, it will get executed. And as soon as you see a bounce, you can start taking a profit, or however much you want to let it run, right? You don't know how far of a bounce it will give you. So I like to target anywhere from 10 to 20 points, right? Depending on how many contracts I have. But most of the time, I'm trading with 3 contracts or 5 contracts. I just want to get out quickly, 5 points, and then let one contract run if you want to see if it gives you more points or not, right? So there's one way is the first touch bounce or the first touch rejection, or if the market sometimes is falling really hard, right? For example, I don't remember. I just want to see if we had a level, what levels we had in the morning, because those gets deleted, right? Because I keep updating them. So there was 147, 191, right? So 191 and 147. Okay, so let's see 191, which is this one right here, right? So if you had an order sitting right there at 191, you could probably did not see any drawdown, and you would have gotten out quickly, like, good 30, 40 points bounce, maybe up to actually 60-point bounce from there. But of course, you don't know it's going to give you that much bounce or not. But I'm just talking from scalping perspective that these points are good entry points, right? So you can either have a first touch bounce or first touch rejection, right? Look at this, 262 became resistance then. So you could have played a resistance at that point as well. You can have played a rejection from there as well, right? Let's just say if you don't want to play the first touch one, right? Sometimes market is falling really hard. Like, let's see, 147, right? 147 was the level. So 147 would have been, let's keep going and see if, there you go. So 147 was right here, right? So this would have stopped you out, right? If you were playing a first touch, right? This would have gotten you out of. So there's one way that you can try to avoid these things is that, for example, what you can do is rather than having an order, a buy order sitting there, you let it fall through the level. And then let's say if it goes down maybe 10 points, right? 7 to 10 points below that level, then you can put a buy stop order at that place so that if it bounces from there, it takes you with it, right? Sometimes that will work, right? And sometimes it won't, because the bounce might not come all the way to 147. It keeps falling down. That means you got saved, right? Because you were trying to play the bounce, and it did not, your order did not get filled because it kept on going down. So then you can remove that, because if it has moved down 20 points from that level, then that means that was not a good support level. Then you can switch and play the rejection, and then you can have a short order waiting for so that when the market bounces from there, then you can short at that level rather than playing that level as a support, right? So just have to be smart about it. In the morning, I think first touch bounces work really good, or even in the middays when the market is a little bit slow. But when the market is fast, like this one, right, where it was just kind of falling with these momentum, then sometimes it becomes, it's advisable to let it break and then have a buy stop order sitting at that level. But if it goes, down maybe more than 20 points from that level, then don't use that level as a support. Rather look for a short, right? So let the market bounce from that level and then you play 147 as a short, right? So I don't know if it went back up or not, but we can see it did not, right? So it kept on falling down, right? 18054. Again, you don't have to play it on the first touch. You let the market fall down and then have a buy stop order sitting there. I don't think this would have executed because it did not come all the way down to up towards 18054 to give you a buy stop and then, move up. It did not do that. So you got saved, right? So that's the thing with levels. You just have to play them smartly. You just have to keep on switching back and forth between using them as support or resistance, right? Uh, I like to do first touches and then also like the way I explained to you, like let the market break the break the level and then let it come back up and take you with it, right? So you can kind of trade according to from that perspective as well. And I keep updating these levels, as the day progresses. Usually I try to create them on a 5-minute chart. Oh, I think somebody's playing maybe Backtesting. Can you guys go on mute? If you are not on mute, let me see if I can do that. I don't know how to do that. Okay. So, any questions? Anybody before we move forward with some other stuff that I had in mind to discuss? But I just wanted to kind of quickly share with you how to
Yeah,
use the.
you see, I had a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but
Yes, you see, what this is exactly I was thinking. What kind of candle do you use or time frame or like that to do discretionary trades like you were explaining?
Mhm. Well, I create these levels based on a multi-time frame analysis. So I think I do have a video on YouTube and I can share that here with the group, which kind of goes into the detail of how I come up with these levels. So for example, let me just go to this one, right? Let's just do one thing. Clear all the levels. Let's go to a weekly view. So right now, it does not. So once you come up with these levels, let's just quickly make maybe levels, right? So for example, this is the current week's, well, this is the current week's high, right? So that's one level. This is right there. So I make these levels as yellow because then I can remember that this is a weekly level, right? So it has a higher importance, in terms of the importance or the hierarchy level. The weekly will have more, weightage than the daily level, and the daily would have a more weightage than the hourly or 5-minute levels, like so on and so forth. So for example, these are the two levels, right? And then you drill down to daily view, right? And then you can have a similar, this is daily, this is the support. Now, how am I coming up with these levels? This is a very consistent methodology that I follow, right? So that even if you give me this chart 10 years from now, I will still come up with the same levels, right? So that's the key. So that whenever you create these levels, the methodology, the approach you use is consistent. It's not changing from one day to the other. Otherwise it won't be consistent and you will keep on getting confused, like, hey, how did that level come? Or how did we drive that level? So you have to be really strict or disciplined in terms of how you create these levels, right? So I can share that video with you and you can see how I come up with these. But once you come up with these, let's go into, let's say, 5-minute time frame as well, right? So once you create these levels, then it doesn't really matter what time frame you put on. Like you can put it on 1 minute as well. The levels will stay the same, right? It's just that you want some structure around it. You want some levels to know and guide and understand how the market is behaving, right? So right now the market is in the downtrend, it's breaking all the levels. So we know it's weak, it's short, right? But since if you're scalping, right, for a few points, then yes, I mean, preference is that you do remain with the trend, right? And you look for strength to short. But sometimes, it's okay if you're scalping, because right now, for example, we were right here around, let's say 9:30, something like that. At this point, you don't know if the market is in a strong downtrend, right? We don't know. Yes, once it broke down all major support levels, then we could have, known that yes, it's a strong move down. But up until now, we did not know that, right? So right now, I'm okay in playing bounces and rejections, whatever. But once we see this strong move down, then yeah, sure, okay, now it's really getting serious. So you look for only rejections. You don't play for bounces, right? Because and the reason is I'm saying that you don't look for bounces. I mean, you can, technically speaking, right? But it's just that even sometimes your entry is not ideal, but you get emotional, you like to hold on to the position. So if that ends up being the case, as long as you're with the trend, even if your entry is not ideal, the chances are the market will take care of you, right? So for example, if I was shorting, let's say my entry was somewhere here, right here, around 2 o'clock, right? Shorted. So it went against me after that. But since the trend is down, after some time, I would have had a chance to come out, right? Because the trend is in my favor. So that's why I say yes, stay with the trend. But if you're scalping quickly at key levels, you don't really know that trend has developed until after some time, right? So in the morning, it's hard, unless of course you have some sort of a strong move to the downside before market open, and then you can see that. But before market open, we all know that the market was sort of had been crawling all the way up, right? Nicely. So, and then again, based on the screen time you guys end up spending. So for example, let me show you the other chart, right? I have these views in front of me. I have this 5 minute, 1 minute, and 4 hourly. So look at this one, the 4 hourly, right? So you could see we started Sunday evening right here, and it kept on going up. And I think towards so this is a 4 hourly chart. So once this bar, this last bullish bar you see completed, why is it that the way it closed is exactly the top of this bar right here, right? So this is a very good high probability trade for a short because even if it was to break out of here, the chances of you getting some sort of move to the downside are pretty good, pretty solid, right? Because that's exactly where the price broke down from right here in the 4 hourly view, right? So if I let's see, maximize that. So okay, look at this, right? So we were nicely up, and these are the two 4 hourly bars. We kept on crawling up, and so these are really good uh, levels, or or structures based trading, right? That you can look to execute. So I think that comes a little bit more with the time and analyzing charts, spending more time on the screen, just looking at how these things play out. So I took a good, so today my trading was a bit of both, where I traded the bots and also some discretionary trades I took off of these levels. Uh, but the thing with these structure-based trading is that you have to define your stop loss, right? So for me, when I took a short here, right, at the close of this bullish bar, my stop was 351, which was slightly above this bullish bar, right? And market really did not really go, beyond. I think it was like 359 was my stop loss when I took. So the market, that was a good stop loss because my risk was pretty tight right here, and I was targeting lower levels. Obviously, I did not hold all the way till whatever 150, but I think I took profits around 160. But that was a good high probability trade. And if you look at in the lower time frame, look at this. This channel got also broken, right? So those kind of things you just have to kind of keep in mind and just sort of analyze if you are trading for discretionary trading, right? Structure-based trading. But you can combine that structure-based trading with levels, right? If you're scalping. So I think you can really do well with these key levels to trade against them. Just keep in mind they have to be either first touch trades, right? Or if you don't feel comfortable playing the first touch trades, uh, you can use the, let it fall through, and then you look for execution once the market comes back up at that level and it takes you with it, right? Because you're looking for that short-term momentum, right? You're looking for that flow so that it gives you 10, 12, 15 points off that level. So that's what you're looking for. All right. And one thing okay, I'll stop here for a second. Any questions about levels, about anything else? Okay. And okay, so one thing I did today, since in the afternoon, right, was that I took the EMA bot, and since I'm not really a coder, so I had to get some help from my coder friend to change the code so that I can make the ATM template the part of the code, so that so the reason of me doing that was that so that I can use the strategy analyzer, right? So this thing, strategy analyzer, it only works uh, if you don't have the ATM template. I mean, if you only have the ATM template as part of the hard-coded strategy, right? So I did that. I still haven't really gone into the details. I haven't really dug through it to kind of find out what's the optimum combinations of different things. But let's just say I'm really not familiar with this back testing, so I'd need to spend some time to kind of make sure how to use this thing. I know Oj has done that before, and a couple of you might have some experience or might reach out to you. But yeah, so I think that the way to do that is just you have this back test type, you click on, you go choose let's say the EMA strategy. Let's just say, we go with the template of, let's just say regular, right? And ATM template won't matter in this case, right? It's just there because it's just there, but it won't be considered. Now, if you scroll all the way down, you see this is where you define your stop loss and your target profit, right? So let's just say we define something here right now. It doesn't really matter. NQ, let's say we want to test it on 150 tick. Let's say we want to test it for the month of April, month to date so far. Uh, I don't know if this will impact it or not, this profit and loss shut off. I still have to figure that part out. But my point in doing all this was so that I can run it on the back strategy here and see how, what can I optimize, what different things I can use to see make it work, right? But right now you won't be able to do that. Let's see if you want to do it on Ninja Renko. Let's see what. So running it on Ninja Renko for the month of April so far, it took 469 trades. Percent profitable was around 45. This is the net profit. Let's analyze this thing. This is your cumulative net profit for the month of April so far. These are all the trades broken down by net profit, right? Uh, the max drawdown, let's go see what was that. The max drawdown was 55. So I think then the next step should be or can be that you run some sort of optimization on it, right? Where you sell the strategy analyzer tool, uh, so it will run through different, I think, combinations of different parameters to find out or give you, I think, the top 10 ones. So I haven't really done this one, but I think this is the way you do it. I think you tell this platform what you want to optimize. So you just kind of pick these things. Again, I have to spend more time doing this thing. I haven't really done that. But let's just say you run it. There you go. See, something like that, it will give you some sort of a output. So look at this one. So this one gave you 11,725 with a drawdown of only $1,100. So this combination, right? This combination of parameters did that. So it looks like the distance, it kept distance at 44. It did not use any EMA filter. Uh, Yeah. So we ran it on Ninja Renko, right? So then you can save this parameter and then backtest it or however you want to proceed. So I think this is something that one can do when you have the ATM template built into the code itself. Right now, you won't be able to do that. I can do it, right? So I have to find out how I can change this code and share it with you guys so that you can spend some time doing this as well, right? Uh, so I'll try to figure that part out as well. But for now, I think this is what you need to do. This is how it kind of optimizes these parameters to work off of. I'll stay quiet for a minute. Anybody, any questions? And I did not run. So today, okay, and one more thing I also wanted to share was the ATM template, right? So for example, let's just go in a playback. Okay, let's go playback. Let's play back today, maybe. It was since it was a nice trendy type of a day, right? So let's go to 9:30 in the morning. Uh, okay, 9:30, 9:22, whatever. And maybe let's just choose, uh, let's say UCEMA, or let's just say max. And let's do the regular one, which is aggressive, blah, 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 2000 profit, 45 distance. Okay, blah, blah. So now let's just run it with 3 contracts. I'm gonna do, and look at this one. Look at this template. 3 trailing. Where is that? So this particular template, right? It only has a stop loss of 40 ticks, which is 10 points, right? And then it does not have a upper target. I put 0 there. So what that means is I'm only going to trail my position, and I'm going to trail it using this 2-step break, sort of template, right? So once it moves 20 ticks in my favor, uh, I will raise the stop loss. And then, based on however far the price moves, it will keep on doing that, right? So let's run this thing. So because when you do this, what you're telling the strategy is that because sometimes when you put an upper limit on the target, right? What if it wants to give you more, right? But you only end up, for example, if you took a long right here, right, and you took only maybe 7, 8 points and you got out right here, what if the strategy wanted to give you maybe 7, 8 more points, right? But since you met your hard target and now you have to wait for, it will and make, it will get you in again at a higher price. And from that higher price, it might not have that much room to give you what you want out of it, right? So that's why don't you just let one of the trades work and immediately move the stop loss up to the break even once it moves in your favor and give every trade a chance, right? So that ATM template, uh, so let's do that. Okay, so now let's run it above distance, aggressive, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So let's go to, I'll try to go slow a little bit just so that you can see how the template works in, let's maybe 100. Okay, 9:30 will start. Okay, 30.
Order filled, stop filled, order filled.
See, there's no target. It just moves the stop loss, right? And I like this one, this template, because I like to scalp with a higher contract size. So I don't want, uh, I mean, sometimes I trim as well, but see, look at this. So sometimes it wants to give me more, but I'm also at the same time protecting my downside quickly, right? But I'm giving it room to to give me more every time, right? So yes, you will accumulate some commission, but I don't mind that as long as your contracts are higher and you're just protecting that side quickly, right? So that ATM template of that sort also can make a difference, right? That's what I always say. It's not only the strategy all the time, right? It's also how you come up with the template, right? So this one would be a stop. Okay, let's keep going.
Stop filled.
Okay, let's see if it can get us to maybe 1,500, 1,000. I think once the run comes, that's where it will give us more trades. Right now, it's not going to do that, right? Because it's sloping upwards. But let's keep going and let's make it like 30. Okay, nothing here. 50. Okay, nothing so far. I think it was after maybe 10 o'clock that we saw a nice move to the downside. Okay, nothing. Okay. All right. Probably might get something now.
Order can't, order,
Oops.
order filled.
See, it gets okay, it stopped because there was a limit on on that. I had an upper limit of 2,000. But you get the point, right? That if you want to scalp with the higher contracts, or even with one contract, that's fine. But with one contract, my struggle would be that you might not get very quickly to your goal. But with the higher contract, since you're protecting your downside very quickly once the price starts moving in your favor, so this kind of template can help you as well. So I would say spend some time playing with this template. I'll post it on the Discord as well, and see what sort of trades it can get you in, and see if it helps you in some way. I'll stop there for a second. Any questions? No questions? Everybody's happy?
Can you post the settings for that one too, UC?
Yeah, of course.
What you use? I
Yes,
didn't
yes.
catch all those. I've got those on the trail, but not on the actual strategy parameters.
Okay. Oh, the strategy parameters, you mean? Okay, I got you. I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, this one, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let me take a screenshot.
I can take a picture of the screen or the, okay.
It's okay.
Cool.
I got it.
All right,
I got it. I'll post that. And yeah, so do that. And I will spend this week with the EMA one. Since I can use the strategy analyzer now. One thing that I'm always a little suspect is that using the Ninja Renko bars, right? The Ninja Renko bars, yeah, I mean, I don't know that if it works the same way as playback, where it will show you in the playback that the trade happened, but in reality, the trade you never got a fill, because that's how that Ninja Renko bars work, right? So from that perspective, if that's the case, what I would look for is that if I'm backtesting using the Ninja Renko, is that, hey, if let's say, for example, it shows me $10,000 profit for last 2 weeks, I would just consider 50% of those trades, as bogus trades, or as, no fills, from, just kind of trying to make it a little bit more realistic. Because, I really I don't know, because I've seen the Ninja Renko bars in reality miss the trades, whereas in playback, or sometimes even in strategy analyzer, it will show you that it took those trades. So that's what so let's say, for example, if I go Ninja Renko, this one, let me, this is back testing, right? Yes. Okay, let's see. Oh, ATM strategy does not work. Oh, since we're in the playback, I can't use it. But 1 second. I just want to show you guys something, what I mean by that. Let it connect. And then let's go to strategy analyzer. Okay. So let's go to this one, EMA, and I think I saved that as, let's say, template. Let's run this thing. NQ, Ninja Renko, blah, blah, blah. Let's run it for the month of March and till April, okay? Oh, sorry. Okay, let's see what sort of, oh, it might take a little bit of time, but maybe not. Okay. Let's just give it a minute, see if it gives us the data back. And then I'll show you the trades on the chart itself, and then it will be much clear to you what I mean. Okay. Hmm. Hey, what a day today, man. I think anybody traded anything else? I am an AMD. I got long here at 161.6. Hoping that, but relatively speaking, it did not really break down as much as the other names. So I'm still hopeful for looking for that bounce. We'll see what happens. Okay. So yeah, this kind of calculations need sometimes, the computer has to be really kind of powerful, if you were to run this thing for multiple months at a time. Otherwise, this thing can just, crash the application. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, so you see 140. So these are all the top 10 combinations, right? Of different parameter settings with this one on the top, giving us 145K with only a max drawdown of 23. I don't know if it's right or not, but it looks pretty good, right? From that perspective. But all I'm saying is, now if you go to chart, right, this is where it shows you all these executions according to this strategy analyzer, right? And my struggle, or my suspect, why I become suspectful with this Ninja Renko is that in playback, this is exactly how it shows. But in reality, sometimes you don't get a fill here, right? In backtesting and playback, it assumes that you got a fill here as long as there's a price, uh, as long as the price, the contract traded there, it assumes that you also got a fill. But in reality, you not getting a fill is a function of, whether the price, whether the orders were, how many orders were there, how fast the market was, stuff like that, right? So if that's the case, let's say you say, hey, of these, let's go to summary of these 2,800 trades, let's say 50% of them were not there, or let's say maybe 70% of them did not happen, right? So that leaves us with, I mean, if you take 70% off, well, it doesn't even include commission. You can actually include commission as well, and then we can rerun it. Uh, but even if, let's say, you get 25% of the trades, 30% of the trades, right? So that means you are saying that instead of 145, we are close to maybe 40 to $50,000, right? Even that's okay, right? But I don't know. I have not run it on SIM. I have not run it on SIM account or real market conditions to validate this result. But it definitely looks good, right? 65% profitable. And then what you can do is you can say, okay, so these are the parameters that it ran this thing on, right? So you can take that and you can save that, just call it whatever you want to call it, right? Test one. And then you can go on the same and run this test one template for maybe a few days and see if it matches with the expectation that this provided us, right? So this is what it looks like for every day, right? Uh, so I don't know if it's true or not. So that's what I don't know if anybody of here has used the strategy analyzer previously, especially with Ninja Renko. If you have, let me know. I mean, what your experience is. But this looks pretty promising.
Did you run this for the EMA? You see,
This is for
not
the EMA,
not
yeah.
for the
This is
not for
for
the Renko.
this is for the EMA strategy, and the bars are Ninja Renko bars. 12/4
Yeah.
is the setting, right?
So I was asking if you did run on not on the Ninja Renko, just on the NQ
Just
150.
just on the tick chart,
Yeah.
we can run it right now. Yeah. Let's say tick chart, I don't know, 150, or let's say 150 is fine for now. Let's just run that. Yeah. See what happens. Okay, going a little bit faster than the Ninja, but yeah.
And
So,
are you enabling both faster and slower length for this?
uh, I have it on optimize. So what optimize means that, run it based on different combinations, and whichever combination gives me the best results, only display that. So,
Got it.
so that's the idea behind having this back test, so that you don't know which one would give you the best. So please, you're asking the tool to give you the result, which combination of different parameters would result in the most profitable number. So that's what you're asking. So let's see. Let's see. Okay, so not not high as much as we expected or saw in the Ninja. So it's only giving $3,000, right? With the drawdown of 1,300. So I don't, and let's see how many, and a summary. So 185 trades only for the month of March till today, right? So for 45 days, it took 185 trades only. And so this is not a, I don't think this is a good result. So definitely you have to play around with a little bit with tick chart a little bit more, maybe increase the tick chart, or change your where is your profit? Where is your profit? I think there's yeah, change your profit target or your loss and see if that improves the results. So that's something that I want to spend some time on and trying to figure out what's the best target and stop loss given this information that we have. So with tick charts, definitely I think it's a little bit more reliable than Ninja, but there are people, I think there's a couple of people who are trading Ninja for the past few days, and they're happy with the results, or they're finding good results, reliable results, positive results. So I have not run it on and sim to validate that. So that's why I don't know. But yeah, this is how you can keep on trying to figure out where's the max money, right? So for example, net profit, if you look at this one, this particular combination gave you the most, right? Around $9,000. But at the same time, it gave you a little bit of higher drawdown as well, right? So those drawdown is something that you want to keep to minimum, right? I would have been okay with this kind of a drawdown if it was like, I don't know, $30,000 right here, right? But for the kind of a profit it's showing, this drawdown is a little higher side, right? So it's not really good. Uh, but that could definitely be because of the profit target and stop loss targets that we have. Maybe I need to increase that a little bit more and then play with it and see where we land. But I'll share this with you a little bit more. But because this is just today was the first day I was able to use this strategy in the strategy analyzer. Because otherwise you cannot if you have the ATM template outside of the code. So okay. Any other thoughts? Anybody? But I think you guys should definitely, I mean, as I keep on playing with this, you should use the levels that I provide more often as well for your, intraday trading. At least try it out for, some few days and see how it helps you. I know Sean, probably he's not here. He uses it a lot. A couple of other people as well. Yeah, because those are really good high probability areas. Of trades that you can really get some good results off of, right? So, if you are an active trader, if you have time, right? Definitely these things can help, right? So this is a level. Now I'll update these for tomorrow, later today, and share it with you. But yeah, trade it and see and share your results with me, and whatever you see. But again, you have to do the first touch, or let the price go through one of these levels and then have a buy stop or a sell stop order, right? But have some sort of rule around it as well, so that if, for example, if you were playing this level, for example, right? So if the price falls below this level more than 10, 12 points, then don't put a buy stop order, because that means that level did not hold, and this will probably act as a resistance now, right? So maybe put us use that level to sell short when the market comes back at that level, which it did right here, right? So use that. You just use it smartly, right? And what doing this will help you is that it will not get you in a long trade uh, just very easily, right? Uh, because sometimes the price will keep on falling down, right? So for example, if you were playing a first touch, you would have gotten long here at 27.75 right here, and it did go up to gave you 13 points from there, right? And if you are active and if you're looking at it, sure, you can grab that. You know, it's still 13, 10 points, right? If you're trading with 5 contracts at $1,000, right? But you know, if you're trading with one contract, that's fine too as well. But all I'm saying is that for just to kind of keep the probability on your side, you know, yes, playing first touch is okay as well if you want to trade that, but also let it, see if you want to, because I personally trade the first touch and also the other way. So I'll use it twice. I'll use the cells twice. I'll trade the first touch. If it gives me whatever points, I'll take them. If it does not, I get stopped out. That's fine. I'll let it go down. And then if it goes down more than 10 points from this level, right, then I will know that this is not a good support anymore, and I will use that level as a resistance. But if it moves down less than 10 points, right, then I will put some sort of a, you know, like a buy stop order here, right? So that if the price comes back up, it takes me with it. You know, it takes me because there will be some sort of momentum behind it, and it will give me whatever I'm looking for. You know, that's the thought process, right? That's how I play these levels. So see if you can.
On which time frame do you use this, you see?
Oh, like I said, coming up with levels
No, no.
is not.
When you're talking about the first touch and
Oh, first touch, it doesn't matter. First touch can be a tick chart. First touch is first touch, right? I mean, if, for example, this level
okay,
right here,
so
right?
even on the tick
1224.
chart, it's going to be
Oh, I mean, I have these charts like I showed you, right? This one, right? So first touch is first touch. It doesn't matter at what time frame the touch is coming, right? Because when the price comes to this level, let's say this 877 right here, it does not matter if you are looking at that level on a 4 hourly chart or a 1 minute or even on a 500 tick chart. It doesn't matter. If the price comes at that level, you will get a fill. It doesn't matter time frame. Time frame comes into play when you are trying to look for some sort of confirmation, right? You're saying, hey, if the price comes there, I would like to wait and see a 1 minute bar, bullish bar right there before I, you know, attempt to play that level. That's fine, right? Uh, that's fine. You can do that as well. But you know, who is there to confirm? That's what my struggle with this concept of confirmation is. I mean, there is no such thing as confirmation, right? What if
yeah.
what if you get a 1 minute bar, bullish bar, and you get in and you still get stopped out, and you're like, what the hell, you know? It gave me confirmation. So there's no such thing as confirmation. So uh, so yeah, like for example, if I go to all my trades, oh, this is all screwed up right now. I don't know why. Oh, because we're maybe in the playback. But let me see if I can bring my trades. Okay, it's there. What it would, there you go. So again, I traded with the bot as well and some discretionary trade. So this was my first short right here at 334, right? And my stop loss I told you was 59. It kept on getting rejected from this high right here, right? So let's say, for example, this was another level, right? This was another level. You could have played a first touch resistance right here. This was a good level, 347 right there, right? You could play that. But again, I'm just giving you an example. This was really not a level, but I'm just saying if it was, that's how you. So this is a tick chart, right? So right now I'm not looking for any sort of confirmation. I would have gotten a fill as soon as the price got here to short, right? And then I could have just come out here, or got stopped out if it was moving, if it had kept on going up, right? So create, so time frame matters when you're trying to come up with levels, when you're trying to create levels, right? But when you are trying to execute, it doesn't really matter because the levels are already there, and you can just view them in 4 hourly, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, does not matter, right? It's just personal preference, where do you want to see them. Uh, so yeah, I think that's where I close my last short. But so that's what I wanted to show you guys, the levels and how to trade them, how I trade them. Definitely, if you come up with some other personal rule or formula or whatever, that's fine, right? Sometimes you're saying confirmation, hey, I want to see a 1 minute bar. That's fine. It's okay. But just stick with that then, right? Because sometimes it will save you, sometimes it will not save you. And it's fine. That's what market is. That's what trading is. That's why you have a stop loss. So yeah, that's fine. I don't like to wait because I just want to get in and get out at the first touch, based on my uh, observation of these levels. I think first touch touches work great. If you were to wait for more than, it's fine. Sometimes it can be a hit or a miss. But the chances are the first time you play it, you will get what you want out of it because, a lot of other people are also looking at those levels as well. So you have some sort of crowd behind it, and you're just trying to make use of that crowd. And by the time somebody realizes that, hey, this is a nice bounce, you're already getting out, right? So play with it, use these levels, and then you can share any observations you have around these levels with me. I'll be happy to discuss. But I just wanted to share how I trade these levels. And
So you
yeah.
see, in that case, while using the bot,
Mm-hmm.
e- can we, like, it's not a think or swim, right, to put a order.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay to manually trade those levels? Is that what you're doing?
Yes, I trade manually these levels. I trade manually, right? But I also trade with the bot, right? What you can do is, for example, right, these levels, you would see around these levels, the price action will always, not always, I should say, most of the time, the price action around these levels will be choppy, right? Because there will always be a fight between bulls and bears here, right? People are going long who want to trade a bounce, and there are people who are going short who want to, see the breakdown further, right? Towards the next level. So if you were to use the bot, right, you would see this is exactly where if you're playing the UC Max, right, this is exactly where it will give you the most opportunities, right? Because it's a trend bot. And this is exactly where you will see all those EMAs expand. Again, this is a 1 minute chart. You might not see it that nicely, but if you were to come up with this, let's say, what was this time? This was 1312 till 1325. Let's go look at that in the 1325. Okay, I don't know why is it like this. Oh, because I had let me, can I open a new chart? I think it becomes messy like that when you switch between Ninja Renko and all that. Yeah, it's going to keep on doing that. Let me restart it. Or actually, I can even.
But I understood, like
You
you
understood that,
are
right? So let's
reading it
say,
manually.
yeah, let's say if you get into a tick chart on Think or Swim, I think we can do that. I just wanted to show you it's the same time period, right? So if you get into a 150 tick chart here, right, and you go to the same time between 13 something, what was that? 1325, right? There you go, right? So 1325 and 1301, that was so this is the level. So this is where the EMAs in a tick chart would be nicely separated apart. This is where the max would do well. So if you have these levels in front of you, right, you can tell, hey, this level got rejection after it broke down once again, and now it wants to go towards this next level. And now you see the EMAs are probably, nicely getting apart, and that's where you can enable the bot if you are there, or if you're not there, if you have it enabled, it will likely take the trades here, right? Between these two levels, because the price at or around these levels will always be, you know, sideways, choppy. Will be a fight between, you know, both the sides, you know, and then whichever sides win, you get some sort of a direction for some time from that place. Okay. And that's what you want to take advantage of. So if you're sitting there, you have these levels, you can be a little bit more confident, right, in terms of how you want to play these levels. But since I'm sitting there, mostly I would enable the bots as well, but I also like to play these first touches, you know, discretionary trades around these levels. So the point is to get to where you want to be from your trading goal perspective. So whatever tool you want to use, whatever, you know, knowledge and information you want to use, be it levels, be it anything else, whatever gets you there, right? That's the goal. So trade with these levels, use them, and I'm sure you will start liking them. Okay, and in the meanwhile, give me a week's or some time so I can spend more time with this strategy analyzer, and I'll keep sharing some stuff with you over there, but also play with this ATM template that I came up with, right? This is something can really help you because when you define a set target on the upper side, right? Sometimes it's good. I mean, from level perspective, if you're playing the levels, yes, this is not a good template because you want to give yourself room. You don't want to just, for example, if my price moves 3 points, 4 points in your favor, you don't want to just break even your position, because what if it wants to take a dip a little bit down and then give you a run back up, a nice bounce. And if you get stopped out right there for break even, and now you're looking again for an entry, and the market will not give you that opportunity. So since these levels do not come very often, so it's not really optimum to move the stop loss to break even very quickly in these, because you want to give yourself some room around these levels. So trade, but if you're trading a bot, I think this can really help improve your results where you are. If you're trading with a higher number of contracts as well, especially, right? You move your stop loss very quickly to break even or a little bit higher, and then trail it quickly. Because the idea is that out of the 7 or 10 trades you do, there will always be 1 or 2 trade that want to give you a lot more than you would have taken yourself. So those are the trades you want to capitalize on. All right, guys. I think we had a good talk, good chat. Anybody any questions before we take off? Cool. I think we have this in recording as well. So I will put this out there on the YouTube once it gets downloaded. So if anybody wants to see it again, you guys can do that. If you have any questions after the fact, if you are, let me know. We'll get back to it. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you,
UC.
Zay.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Have a
Thanks,
good rest
man.
of your evening. Talk to you soon.